I've updated my Oddworld lore fan game, Oddworld Smile Factory, and this updated version now happens to be on itch.io. Nothing particularly exciting has been done to it. I said I wasn't going to work more on it, and as a result I haven't added any new bits or anything like that, but I took notice of the tons of feedback I received on the game and decided to make a few changes to it, to basically make it as good as it can be in its final state. So thank you very much to anyone that's played it, and particularly the people that went to the effort of writing detailed reviews, feedback, or uploaded videos or streams of the game, because it's genuinely helped me. I've been taking down notes, and while I haven't made any major changes, like I haven't done anything where I'd say, oh, it's worth going back and playing it again if you've already played it, it's assisted me massively in improving the game and making it hopefully vastly better. So thank you very much. Also, by the way, you can rate the game on itch.io itself, so if you want to do that, that'd be a good, simple way of helping me too. And thank you also to the people that did do that. Overall, the changes I've made are pretty minor. I fixed a few glitches and that kind of thing, but honestly, thankfully there wasn't that many bad glitches from what I saw. The worst one was that there was actually meant to be cutscenes, or specifically a brief title sequence when you load up the game, and an ending cutscene, which did not end up in the packaged game. The screen would just turn white when they were meant to be playing. You'd think I'd have noticed the absence of these in the final game, but it was a few days till I found out that people were experiencing this problem. I think the reason that I didn't know about it was something to do with local files causing the cutscenes to show for me on my computer, but not for people on other computers, or something like that. I've now seen that other people using Unreal Engine have had exactly the same problem, so it's either that or I was just really sloppy in my testing, which is also possible. But yeah, so now I think I've fixed that. The films should be in there, but I also thought they were last time, so if you do play it, please do comment below if there is an absence of a title sequence and or the ending cutscene. If one of them's in there, I'd imagine both of them should be in there. Also, speaking of the ending, I was considering putting in a second ending, as some people very correctly assumed by the way the final part of the game was designed, that it was designed to have a second ending, and that was the original intention. But I didn't put it in due to logistics mainly. I was considering putting it in now, but I haven't, because although I did plan for there to be two endings, I didn't have a particular idea in mind of what that ending should specifically be, and there just wasn't really one that made sense when I now tried to think of it. I mean, you could think of stuff, but I don't know, nothing that I was willing to do now as a second ending that also made sense, if that makes sense. The only other major problem I think was in level 4, the spare parts level, which a lot of people really like that one, which I'm really glad, because when I was making it I was like, I think this one's the best level by far. So it's really nice to me that so many people commented saying the same thing. Unfortunately, I noticed watching Let's Plays of it that a glitch often occurred where an enemy froze, which was really unfortunate, kind of ruined one of what a lot of people said was the best parts of the game. And it's really weird because in however many times I tested that level, I did not get that glitch once, which is annoying. I'm not sure what caused it because it shouldn't do that, but I think I fixed it now, hopefully. I've tested it, doesn't seem to be doing it for me, so hopefully that's fixed. There's some other minor glitch fixing and movement, graphical and audio improvements that are hardly noticeable really, although one often requested thing was subtitles for a certain scene, which I won't spoil for those that haven't played it, but I've now added subtitles in. I don't know why I didn't think to add them in before, because I also thought the audio in that scene was difficult to understand at times. Believe it or not, that whole bit was very rushed and added in quite last minute, so I think that's probably why I overlooked this, but that's been added in now. And speaking of accessibility, I've also added in a photosensitivity mode where you can basically press this to reduce flashing and shaking and whatnot in the game. So this is mainly for like people with photosensitive conditions and that kind of thing, to make the game more accessible to them. Now, I don't want to say it's now completely suitable for people with such conditions to play, because this is just a small fan game. I may have missed stuff, even if I haven't, maybe something could go wrong or glitch or not work as intended. Which at first glance might seem like, oh well, that's helpful, isn't it? You're saying there's a mode for people with photosensitive conditions that might not be suitable for people with photosensitive conditions. But worst case scenario, the option is there, so like you can get someone else more familiar with a particular condition, for example, to play it with this setting and be like, yeah, this is alright for you to play, or no, it's still best not to. If anything though, I think I've gone over excessive with this just to be safe. I've tested it and I think it's okay, but I don't want to say for certain in case I've made an error. But the option is there. One issue a lot of people had was the game being too dark, and as a result I've more strategically arranged the lights in the game to hopefully make things way clearer, and if that's not enough, I've also added in an option to make the game lighter, or darker if you want to challenge yourself. Similarly, I've redesigned certain parts of certain levels, not massively, but just certain changes to hopefully make them flow a bit better. Sometimes it wasn't clear where you had to go, so hopefully I've managed to fix that problem somewhat. And likewise, I've made changes to just general bits in the game to make the gameplay more intuitive. For example, lightning gate levers now have their own distinct design, to make it more clear what levers do what and that kind of thing. As I said in my first video about the game, one of the challenges making it was figuring out what the experience of first time players would be, making it clear enough that people know what to do, while also not outright just telling them constantly what they need to do. I think I didn't make some stuff clear enough, so hopefully I've now made improvements in that regard. In general, I think that's pretty much it. There's still some stuff that I could improve, or problems that I'm aware of that I'm just not going to fix. For example, I believe there's a problem where the game doesn't run on certain monitor resolutions. That's something I probably should have kept in mind more while making it, because in the end I just sort of focused on 1920 by 1080. I'm not sure if this works, but there are aspect ratio options in the game. I don't know if that's much help if the game doesn't run in the first place. But other than that, I don't think there's much I can do to simply fix it. I'm pretty sure that even if it does work, a lot of the menus and whatever will be off, because I didn't design them with other screen proportions in mind like I should have. So yeah, that's just something I'll have to remember to think about if I do any future projects, I guess. As the game is now in its final version, I'll finally be uploading the videos that I wanted to do about it last month, but didn't because I kind of knew after a day or so that I was probably going to make changes to it. One thing I'd like to update is I'll upload a new trailer, because the last one was really rushed, like made in half an hour or something. I was just like, oh wait, I was meant to have a trailer made by now and the game is now out. So I just did it very quickly, and I think it certainly could have come out a lot better. Like for example, I forgot to upload it in high resolution, so it looks pretty pixelated to me. But yeah, I said in my last video that I didn't intend to work on the game any further, and I meant that. In fact, I had to reinstall stuff to make these changes that I'd uninstalled because I was so convinced I was done with this project. But getting all the feedback and whatever was really helpful. I guess this is probably why people developing games normally put them through a beta testing phase before releasing first, but oh well. To be fair, the fact that I didn't, yet there was so few major problems, is kind of surprising to me, but very reassuring. But I just saw some changes that I knew in my head how to implement very simply, and that would just make it a tighter, better experience. So I just figured I might as well do that. So I genuinely appreciate the feedback that I got, as I have taken a lot of it in and applied it as best I can to the game now. Not to add much to the game, but simply to make the game as it was the best game it can be. But now, unless there's something really wrong with it, because goodness knows when you try and fix stuff so often does it cause even more problems. But aside from such a situation, I'm now completely done with this project and will be presumably focusing on Oddworld lore videos for now, although as I said there's a few videos about the game that I want to upload too. I hope, if you're interested in trying it out, that you will enjoy this new and improved final version of Oddworld Smile Factory.
Hello, follow me.